Hi everybody, and welcome back to another video on Gentry Gallery. Today's going to be a quick one. It's going to be a new series I'm trying to create called Paper Wednesdays, where I go over my paper-based collectibles from the 20th century conflicts that I've collected so far. So, these two in front of us today are from 45 and 42 respectively. These are both World War II era pamphlets, obviously. One of them was produced by the War Department and the other one was produced privately by the city of Fresno. So, we'll start with the Fresno one because I believe it's the lesser of the two as far as interest goes, unless you're from Fresno, no offense there. So yeah, this was produced in 1942. This is a pamphlet intended for GIs that are stationed in Fresno on base there, or just found themselves there somehow. It has a directory of all the things to do in the city, all the interesting things to do, and even this really cool map, which was illustrated in 42. And if any of you are from Fresno and can make out any of these places, I would be really interested to know if the city layout is still the same about 80 years later. So yeah, that's the Serviceman's Directory of Fresno. This would have been a really useful little pamphlet back then because, you know, no internet, no Google Maps, no way to know what's going on in a city that you're not familiar with without either meeting somebody or having something like this. So now on to the second pamphlet. Here we have the US War Department pamphlet number 21-31, 2 down, 1 to go. You can see here on the front, Hitler and Mussolini are X'd out, leaving only the Imperial Japanese in the way of all-out victory for the United States. Like I said, this piece was obviously produced in 1945, given that these two have already been knocked out. And you can see here some interesting little details in the image. We've got Totenkopf on Hitler, as well as swastikas on all three of the men, kind of showing that, I guess the zeitgeist at the time was that the Nazis were in total control of both fronts. So when we open this thing up, we gotta be very careful, but the main purpose of this pamphlet was to let GIs know whether or not they were going to be in the final effort against the Japanese. At this time, in mid-1945, people weren't really aware of the Manhattan Project. At least most people weren't supposed to be aware of it. And everyone was thinking that, you know, they were going to be invading Japan. That invasion was a very scary idea because I believe statisticians had already decided that there would be millions of casualties on both sides, both military and civilian, and it would extend the war for years to come. So, this pamphlet is basically informing GIs on whether or not they have the qualifications to get out of the invasion or if their unit is going to be transferred, and also a little bit generally about what to do now that the war has ended in Europe. Very interesting illustrations in here. Then finally, on the very back page, if I can get it, we can see here, a copy of this will be distributed to each individual in the Army of the United States concurrently or immediately after the showing of the WD film 2 down and 1 to go. No distribution will be made to individuals prior to the showing of the above mentioned film. So, basically they'd all be sat down, shown a film, and handed this pamphlet. This would contain all the information that the film does, I'm assuming. I haven't seen the film, but I would be interested to see it if anyone knows where to find it. Anyways, guys, that's all there really is to say about these two pieces. Really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope you've enjoyed the first installment of Paper Wednesdays. I'll be back next Wednesday with some more really cool historical paper objects to show you guys. In the meantime, I'm going to be making more videos on other pieces of militaria, so please stay tuned. Have a great week, y'all. Thanks for watching.